Hello everyone and welcome back to the Odd Machine Factory's Garage series, where we now are building the Jaguar AJ V8 Turbo Drift Legacy. So today we're gonna take a look at the space claim for the turbocharger and the piping concept that we have around the turbocharger. So last time we saw that we have a lot of space in the engine bay, or at least we thought we had, and now we will check out how filled that space is already with the piping concept that I have created. And the idea is that I just created a mock-up to get my thoughts running, and we had to start off with the turbocharger location, of course. So I'm not saying that my turbo is big. It's the S364.5 Borgwarner, and the reason why I say that it's not big is because my neighbors have bigger ones, so they will tell me that that's a small turbo. But compared to the size of the space that we have here, it's quite massive on the compressor side. So that was a bit of a problem, so I had to play around this Tetris game for quite a long time to find a suitable space claim for the turbo, or position for the turbo, because I wanted to leave also some room between the plastic valve covers and the turbocharger. So I think we managed to do that quite well. And regarding the piping concept, you can see that we have now a quite nice space to run a 4-inch intake pipe down here to the bumper. We can fit the air filter there and get some nice fresh air to the turbo. So I think that turned out quite neatly. Then if we go forward to the charger side, we can see that the turbine housing is quite high compared to the engine bay, and that was the biggest problem here. But I managed to fit here a concept which is using also the charge air coolers from the Jaguar XKR. So we are actually running the boost air from here behind the engine. There we have an electric throttle flap from the XKR. Then we have a 3-inch pipe coming up, dividing into two 2.5 inch pipes, and then we have the charge air coolers inside these manifolds. So this is liquid to air intercoolers, so these are the inlets and outlets for the liquid, and I will run these in a separate cooling system, so they are not connected to the engine cooling at all. That's how we get some more cooling power out of these, and that's of course what we need, as we are trying to push the engine a bit further than it has been from the factory. But that's the basic first concept for the charge air. But there's another idea. If we run into problem with these, I chose these because we can use now the fuel rails and injectors and the lower parts of the intake manifold from the XKR engine. They fit straight into the XJR engine, and I thought that I could also use the intake manifolds from the naturally aspirated engine, but the mounting interface is totally different, and even the injectors are different. So I decided that I will go with this one to help with all of the things that I have ongoing. I don't need to worry about this. I can use the available components, so save some time and money at this point. And then I just wanted to leave a second option available, so the turbocharger is mounted now so that we can also run front mounted intercooler or charger cooler. If in some point I get an idea how to create a nice manifold here that would be without the charger coolers, because these are quite big heat sinks if you don't run any coolant to them. So I don't want to have any charger cooling needs, because we have here some charger coolers which are not cooled down. So it doesn't make any sense to cool down something in the front here and then run it through a hot piece of aluminium inside here, which is heated by the engine. So we need to figure out a new intake manifold layout here if we want to use the front mount charger cooler, or that's at least how I see it. Then if we take a look at our turbocharger here, you can see that we have a twin entry turbine housing, so it's a twin scroll turbine housing, and I decided to run it so that I have now each of the cylinder banks feeding one side of the twin scroll. So from the driver's side we have one pipe running down there going up to one scroll, and then the other one is fed by the passenger side cylinder bank. And last time you saw that I had quite the tight space on this side for the downpipe, and as you can see, the first primary tube is very close to the steering column and the steering axle, so I cannot, or I could, but I don't want to run the downpipe from this side. So I decided that I will create this log type of manifold with some directed primaries towards the collector pipe and a single pipe to that side. So as here we have a much better space without any steering columns or anything in the way for the downpipe. But as here you can see, we cannot run, or we could, but I don't want to run the exhaust manifold in the same way that we have it on the driver's side. So here we actually have the first primary pipe going through there. There's the same type of a lock collector pipe, and there's the collector flange over there. So it's running, it's like an inverted design, so it's running from front to back on this side. And this way we can get some more airspace for the alternator. We can also, it's quite hard to see, but we have a starter somewhere down there. So that is the starter, and there are no primary pipes on this side yet because I just wanted to play around with the concept ideas. So now we can go around the starter and the alternator quite nicely. We have airspace there, so we can have some airflow to the tunnel as well, which helps with the heat. And the reason why I also did this is that, let's see here, the exhaust manifold, you can see it coming down from there. It goes through there where the original exhaust pipe has gone with the Subaru engine, and then it comes forward and then goes up to the turbocharger from there. So by doing this, I can now have equal length for both of the banks for the collector pipes, because I don't want to run any compensation with the ignition timing or the fueling on these banks. So even though the pulsing is not optimum, I want to keep the exhaust back pressure and the exhaust restriction the same for both banks, so that we don't need to do that much of any tuning tips or tricks, so that the one bank runs hotter than the other or something like that. So that's why I did it like this. And then as you can see now, we have the collector pipes there. So now I was playing around with the wastegate position, and I decided that I want to put it in a place where it's easily accessible and serviceable and changeable and so on, and it doesn't melt anything or burn anything. So now we can route the twin pipes, so we will keep the pulses separate up to the wastegate with separate pipes. This is just for mock-up. And then we have now here a really nice position for the wastegate. We can access all of the directions. We have space in all of the directions. We can swap in a bigger one or a different shaped wastegate if we run into a problem with these cheap ones. So I haven't run these in my own cars, but I've heard a lot of horror stories about them. So if we need to do some modifications or changes, it's now easy to access it. And then the pipe from the wastegate to the down pipe, it runs beneath here. So there's a lot of space. This will be swapped to an aluminium one, so don't worry, it's not nice and neat yet either from the routing point of view, but I just wanted the space claim here. And as you can see, we have a nice flow to the exhaust down pipe. So I think this is a nice routing. We have really nice spacing here between the valve cover and the hot pipes. So I think this is quite okay, considering that we have a foreign engine and a foreign charger set up in a foreign body. So these haven't been together ever from the factory. And then if we look at the exhaust pipe, this is a 3-inch pipe at the moment, but there's a lot of room, quite nice room all around. So I will run the first tens of centimeters with a bigger pipe, but that's just for space claim. So we're gonna have a quite nice fitment there as well, and some space to put some nice stainless steel heat shields between the pipes and the valve cover as well. So that's it for the piping concept and turbocharger location. At this point, I must admit that I've been sitting on this idea or this concept for a few nights. I've been thinking about it, and I decided to run some simulations on my performance simulation model of the engine. And there will be modifications. This is just a mock-up to see how long pipes we will have and what diameters we have and how things fit. And in the upcoming episodes I will show you how I modified this setup and why, and I will show you the reasons also from the simulation results. So hopefully that is something that interests you as well. But let me know what you think about the packaging. Hit like button, subscribe if you like this build. It's now really ongoing and going forward, so I hope that it interests also other people, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this package become more alive or more real as we go forward with this garage series. So thanks for your time, and I hope to see you in the next one.